Benedict makes an historic cross to the US as the right inside the philosophy in America today. Benedict XVI, first visit to America, starts James Bell's CNN was a unique crime against humanity. Are you an official Black?
Alright everybody, hello and welcome to another segment of Channel 7 News. I know you're all excited, but bear with me here. I'm going to explain my outfit first. This is just a jacket, premium. I know the real question here is why are you wearing those sunglasses? They're silly. I know they're silly, but you know what's not silly? I have a condition, okay? My pupils are huge. I let in way too much light, okay? And the sun burns me. Speaking of the sun, you get a shot of that sun? Now James, you're the cameraman. Where's the sun?
In space.
In space, that's right. How do we get to the sun, James?
We can't get to the sun now.
Okay, well that doesn't matter. So what we're going to do today, we're look at the value of space travel. We're going to bring you the best video that we've ever made in the shortest time span that we've ever had, and we don't even care. We're going to do it right now, starting now. Okay? So, buckle in, because it's time. So today on the program, as we've already covered, we're going to examine the advantages and disadvantages of space travel so that you, the viewer, can determine, is it better to explore space? Is it beneficial? Or should we stay here at home? The criteria for such a question: economic, social, political, and technological. We will examine all four of these with in-depth demonstrations, descriptions, skits, and funny jokes so that you can decide if we should explore space or not. And I'm going to tell you something, it's going to be hilarious. That's all. Now we've had enough with the intro, the mumbo jumbo, the flashiness. Why don't we get into some really good information? We're going to start with James in a tree talking to you about technology. Let's do it.
So on the technological side of space travel, many advancements have been made because of space travel that may never have happened if we hadn't had the drive to get to space. Some of these advancements, many of you know, your phones have GPS in them for like looking at maps and stuff. That was because of space travel. We'll talk about all these more in depth later. There's also cancer. Advancements have been made in the International Space Station. There's like a medical side of that. There's also been advancement in fuels for getting the shuttle to space. Many advancements in like really advanced mirroring, because the mirrors on satellites and stuff would be perfect. So those advancements can also translate to at home, like satellite dishes and stuff. They're getting a lot better, as well as transmission of signals have gotten a lot better. Many of the digital signals that we get, they would not be possible without the advancements that are made during the space race. So, though, with those advancements in mind, you can make an educated guess on whether space travel is worth it.
So when we talk about spin-off technologies for the space program, we're talking about things like batteries, GPS, cancer research, and telecommunications. Now, the space program has accelerated telecommunications technology to a new level. Give you a real-life scenario. What if an axe murderer comes into your basement and he wants to kill you? Well, I will be the axe murderer, and Adam will be in his basement. Simple click of a button, Adam. He can call his friend James, and his friend James can come and save Adam from the axe murderer. Let's see it in action.
Oh, hey, James. Pretty good. Just a little axe murder in my basement. Yeah, you can come if you want, yeah. Okay. Yes, yes. Oh,
The axe murderer is dead.
Wow. All senior citizens should Half-Life alert.
Another spin-off technology that we've received from the space program is cancer treatment. And Robbie here's been chewing too much tobacco. Now he has mouth cancer, and he's not very happy. Now, Dr. Eagleson, why don't you explain the new type of treatment that NASA has played a large part in developing?
Now, on the International Space Station, they're trying to grow plants to see how it affects in neutral orbit with no gravity or anything. But they can't get sunlight because sunlight is a reflection off the Earth and into the atmosphere and reflecting back that sunlight. So it doesn't work in space. And so they need to come up with a artificial form of sunlight. And they came up with something. It was a red LED emitting diode, and a special type, not just any red LED emitting diode. And so they created this to produce like all the sun rays exactly like it would be on Earth. Now, they used that when they brought it back. Someone decided to use it on a cancer patient, and in fact, now demonstration. I need complete darkness. Now, in fact, when used on the cancer patient, it relieves their symptoms such as pain. So, as we're going across, you can see Robbie's getting happy now. Look at him. It's relieving his symptoms.
You know, it's really great what the space program has given us, isn't it, Robbie?
Yes.
Tell us how great it is.
Better. It's this great.
Wow, a great shot from the field team as usual. Now today, I believe we have a professor, Professor Doherty from NASA. Special guest today, very excited. He's going to be answering some questions. And we're going to go out there and we're going to see what happened.
Things did get a little hairy out in the field.
Yeah, in hindsight, wow, it did get a little bit out of hand, but things turned out for the better. And anything else?
Nope.
Okay, let's see it happen. Today we have Professor Doherty on the program. Hello, Professor Doherty. We're hoping that today Professor Doherty can tell us why did NASA's budget get cut. Now, Professor Doherty, there seem to be so many advantages to space travel and space exploration. Can you tell us why the funding was cut this year?
That's not really for me to say. Get back.
You don't have the guts. Now that we've apprehended Professor Doherty, we can finally know the truth. Why did the United States cut NASA's budget funding? Why don't you tell us?
In the public's eye, it seems as if NASA is receiving too much funding compared to other programs such as education or healthcare. Like Abraham Lincoln once said, public sentiment is everything. With it, nothing can fail. Without it, nothing can succeed. But us NASA officials know the truth. NASA is really providing the government with more money than what the government's providing NASA.
Professor Doherty has given us a lot to think about. Maybe we should take into account what he said. Look into this, James. We have a lot of research to do. What was it that Professor Doherty meant? He said that the NASA professionals knew something, but what could it have been? I need to find out. It's my job. I'm a reporter. I can't let these things, can't let them go. I'll have to go on a journey of research. I need to call in some favors. I better get started. So a common point to debate when we are arguing the value of space exploration is the economic benefit or the negatives of economics. Now, a common misconception is that NASA drains money from the U.S. Treasury. While it is expensive to upkeep, it actually puts money directly into the U.S. Treasury. Why don't you explain that?
Now, the NASA government has an 8-to-1 ratio of money put in to money put out. So, if the American government, I'm the American government, Allan's NASA, I give NASA $20 to fund.
And NASA says, you know what, I'm going to take your $20, I'm going to put $160 in your bank, because I'm NASA, and I give an 8-to-1 ratio of money.
Now, you may be asking, how does this work? How does it such like a gold mine, it seems? Well, what it does is it includes jobs made for people. There's over 100,000 jobs just for space exploration alone, plus the metal workers, steel workers, welders, all those people who also are off the sidelines. Like, they work for metal companies and stuff, metal manufacturers that would be need to produce materials for the space shuttle. So those tax money, all that money is included in the 8-to-1 ratio that it puts back out of taxes and all that kind of thing, and it also gets public support.
This is the secret that Professor Doherty knew. The secret that you only need to research a little bit to find out. It's called critical thinking, folks, and that's been the theme of this course since the beginning. So now that we've answered the question, why did NASA get shut down, due to the public opinion, it really is powerful, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Quintessential.
Quintessential to anything success. Public opinion. When the government doesn't have the public opinion, nothing can survive, as Abe Lincoln once said, I do believe.
You quote me on this? Don't know the quote.
He doesn't know the quote, but Abe Lincoln did say something like that. And what's really important here is that this is a good segue. Okay, we're going to go into the socio-political aspects of space travel. We're going to examine them for you right now. You lean back, put your feet up, and just enjoy.
Absolutely. Just, popcorn and everything.
Quintessential. You know, James, I always find that it's a good idea to just sit down on a couch and take a break mid-presentation. It's important that we collect our thoughts.
It is important. Now, Allan's going to discuss what segment's coming up next. What is this segment called, Allan?
It's called the lightning round. Now, we all know that public opinion is very important. Without public support, politicians can't really do much. And politicians have a lot of power when it comes to space exploration.
Now, the public opinion can change completely whether money will be put into the department or whatever it is, such as NASA. Even if the department gives money back and is worth the money putting into it.
So this is the lightning round. I believe the lightning round was invented in 1967. That was the last time the Toronto Maple Leafs won the cup. It was invented by Henry James Lightning. Now let's get to the lightning round of interviews, shall we?
We shall. So here we are for our public opinion section of our video. This is where we're going to do a lightning round of asking questions to average American people on whether they, American and Canadian people, of whether we should continue space exploration. Now, Lauren, who is the average American housewife, do you think that space exploration is worth it in terms of cost?
I don't. I don't want to have to pay for it.
You don't want to pay out of your pocket, like your tax funding. You don't want to put towards the funding, no? And now, how do you feel about the wives and/or husbands of the men and women who are risking their lives daily for space exploration? Do you think it's worth it, the risk that they have to go through?
I don't know. I know if it was me personally, I wouldn't want my husband to have to take that risk, never knowing when he was going to come home.
So there we go. We got the average American housewife opinion on space exploration.
So in our quest to hit all the demographics in our lightning round, we have an African tribesman here. Now, sir, do you have any knowledge about the space program at all?
Limited knowledge.
Now, do you think that the money that we spend, is it worth it for the space program? Are the lives sacrificed, are they worth it? Should we just ignore space altogether? What do you think?
No. The space is for gods.
Okay, so you think that the resources would be better spent exploring our own planet, such as the jungles or the oceans?
No. Too much demons in the jungles. Money should be put together to get food.
There you have it.
Now on our lightning round to hit all demographics, we've stumbled upon the native golden retriever. Now, if we're going to ask every person, and we're really going to say that we did a full effort, we're going to have to ask the dog. It's a pivotal part of American society. Now, Sarah, how do you feel about space exploration in the sense of human life and how people may have to die so we can get further understanding of space? Ah, yes, good. Insightful. Now, how do you feel about the economic repercussions, as in the 8-to-1 ratio that occurs when the American government puts money into it? You truly grasp the average dog in so many ways. It's very, very enlightening. Now that we've talked to the dog, we will continue our series later. So in our lightning round to hit all demographics, we've stumbled upon Professor Robbie. Now we're going to come up to Professor Robbie. Hopefully we don't disturb him too much.
Yes, good evening.
Now, are we disturbing you here, Robbie? Can we ask you some questions, Professor?
Taking notes, but it's fine.
Good. So, what are your opinions on space exploration? Is it worth it in terms of the danger of life?
I think the space exploration is well worth the risks that we have put into it, and this is mainly because of the future prospects and life on other planets that it holds. I think it's a great opportunity for the human race to advance and discover.
I see. Very, very good insights with you. Now, tell me, what do you think about the cost, as in the economic cost and the amount that the space exploration gives back into the economy? Is it worth it? Should we promote space exploration in that way?
I don't really think cost is the primary issue in space exploration, as space exploration is less about getting back into the economy and more about giving back to the knowledge of the human race and really exploring to see what we can truly discover.
Thank you for those insightful contributions to our video.
We've made a trip to this quaint little farm. We're trying to hit all the demographics here to ask the public opinion on space travel. Now, Farmer Brown has agreed to help us out. Now, Farmer Brown, could you tell me about space travel?
Well, the only thing I have very limited knowledge on space travel. All I know about is farming here. As you can see, I'm a farmer. But what I do know is that back in the 60s, when we were fighting against the Reds, the commies, as you would know, the Russians, they were beating us out to pretty much everything, like getting the first, I think, dog in space, I do believe, first man in space, first satellite in space, and so our superior team, obviously, we're American, superior Americans team, what we had to do was get the first man to the moon. That was our option to beat them. And, of course, we did pour lots of money, which you could say could have been used for poverty and stuff like that to support economics, but we believed, as an American superior people, that it would be better for us to beat the commies to the moon. So what did we do? We beat the commies to the moon. We sent the first mission to the moon and landed the first American feet on the moon. The only people to land on the moon were Americans, proving that the commies were better than us.
Thank you, Farmer Brown. So now we can see that space travel is not only important to the advancement of scientific technology, but is also a very important part of our national identity.
So this demonstration we're going to show you some of the dangers of space travel and exploration. We called up NASA, and for some reason they wouldn't give us a space shuttle to use. Weird. So since we can't get a space shuttle to blow up, and we can't get this model plane into space to blow up, we're just going to blow it up down here, hanging off our deck. Now, many of you may remember, thank you, Assistant Allan, the Challenger disaster in 1977, which a space shuttle was going up to the International Space Station, and on the way up, it exploded in flames and killed all the members. So that's one of the dangers involved with space travel, is that the fuel that they use is very combustible, very dangerous, and what actually happened was one of the tiles on the bottom of the space shuttle was loose, and that all it took was one little, like, maybe 100 square inches, probably smaller than that, fell out, and just that enough, when it entered the atmosphere, just blew up the whole inside of the space shuttle. So this is going to slowly burn away. Hopefully we're going to get it down to the fuse quicker. Maybe Assistant Allan should just light it quicker. Tell some jokes. Space shuttle jokes, eh? Do any space jokes?
Hey, what magazine did the astronaut buy? Cosmos.
Here we go. So that was our demonstration of space travel and the dangers of it.
Golly gee willikers, Allan. That's quite the informative scene by James Eagleson.
As it usually is.
Glad. I know this video is based around the purpose of space travel, but one question: how does a rocket work?
Well, Adam, if I could explain it to you here, I would. But it is rocket science, after all. Which is why we've here at the studio we put together a little demonstration, a field trip, a demonstration. Now, if you'll take the mic for a moment.
Oh yes, the Mark III potato cannon, custom built by James and Allan Eagleson Studios.
We're going to use this baby, show you how rockets work. Let's jump right on into the field. Let's see it in action.
So here we have our master technician Allan sanding away the combustion chamber for a perfect fit. And so right now we're just going to explain to you how this whole potato gun is put together. So right here we have combustion chamber that Allan's sanding away. It's about 2 feet long. And then we have right there coupling. Thank you, Allan. Fits on there. Then reducer. I think that goes on with this. Reducer on, then reducer to the barrel size, which is 2-inch, and then there's a cap on the end back there. screw cap. We don't have right now. And we'll fill that with hairspray or butane. And then we'll close that off and use a spark generator to create a spark inside after pushing potato down the barrel there. Once igniting the spark inside, we'll ignite the butane, which will send potato off into yonder. There you go. Hopefully it goes off this time.
You can hear there's more in there from the pitch of the spark.